Hello, everybody. You are now listening to the Overflow podcast with Jay and Joaquin.
Arnold's not the only one who will be back. What up, everybody? Welcome to the Overflow podcast. As always, I'm Joaquin.
And you know I am.
And that
Jay
is
holding it down,
that is Jay with his Reach, Teach, Love t-shirt. Jay's motto as long as I've known him.
Yo, you remember in Jamaica when we were walking looking for some street food and that guy stopped me when I was wearing this shirt?
Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
And he was kind of a little scary.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit scary. It's like, oh, and do you stand by those words? Oh, maybe.
if you're about to rob me, I'm gonna teach you a lesson, and I'm gonna love whooping that tail.
Yeah, but actually he ended up like walking with us and taking us to like the best ribs.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The dude that did the barbecue competitions.
Yeah.
All right.
I haven't seen this T-shirt in a long time, so when I found it today,
me neither.
I'm like, oh man, let me wear that. And then as soon as I put it on, I remembered that. Yo, I was my life in the Bahamas in this T-shirt.
Yeah, man. So I am. So Jay is in the bunker. Not really a bunker. He's in the loft, right? Because he's up on the second floor of his house. I'm in the basement. I'm in the bunker. Of the. I mean, I guess it's a good thing we started doing the Skype thing because, we're supposed to be in quarantine.
Social distancing.
Right? So me and Jay began practicing social distancing before social distancing was a thing.
Was a mandatory thing.
Tell
people what's going on. You've been gone for a bit.
So a lot
has happened to you in the time that you've been gone.
I've been all over the place. I was in Puerto Rico for a week, a couple weeks back to celebrate my grandmother's 90th birthday. And it was funny because she kept saying that she wasn't turning that she wasn't 90. She was just going into her 90th year. Right, like I'm going into my 90th year. It's like no. You're turning 90. That was like a huge thing, like the whole time. It was hilarious. My grandmother's got Alzheimer's, so she kind of get on a loop, right? But at least she's funny, right? She's not mean. She's funny.
My grandfather was mean.
Yeah, your grandfather's my grand. Well, right now she's funny. But
my grandfather was mean.
Yeah. So before I left for Puerto Rico, I got a promotion for supervisor at my job. So I'm the supervisor of the position I used to do at Home Depot. Yay!
More money, more problems.
Listen. This is so that's so people can understand the timeline because it's hilarious.
Profit Biggie.
March, Profit Biggie. No.
Profit Smalls.
Profit. I'm just Christopher Wallace, man. The Bed-Stuy days. That's why. March 2nd, I get promoted. March 4th, I leave for a week for Puerto Rico. So I'm at the job 2 days. I leave. I come back a week later. March 12th is literally my third day as the supervisor. I come in, yada yada. I leave early. I don't think I left early. I come back March 13th. And no one's talked about this. March 13th, I come into work. I leave early because it's like I'm gonna come back and work the overnight.
Okay.
My manager calls me, hey man, can you come in earlier? They just dropped for Home Depot employees to call in about COVID and stuff, and we're swamped. So I go in at 7:30. I was supposed to be in there at 10. Go in at 7:30, and from March 13th to now, it's been that week before was the first real week with this whole COVID stuff. I mean, I was getting into work at 6, and I was leaving work at 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Just because I
I didn't hear anything from you. It's like, oh yeah, I'm back, and then that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it hit us like a ton of bricks, and so we've been dealing that this week. My hours kind of normalized a little bit. I've been doing shorter hours. I've really been doing like 11 to 7, 11 to 8, let's say, right? Kind of right around there. Not really working as many hours.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling my manager's like, yeah, just come in those hours because we had to open up extra phone lines and we had to get extra people in. Just the volume of phone calls we've hit. I think when I go in tomorrow, I'll see the numbers. We'll have hit about 5,000. We'll have sent out about 5,000 emails dealing with, just this COVID stuff. So it's been crazy. Yeah, so that's why last Sunday I worked. I think I did like 13 hours, something like that. So, yeah, man, it's been a long.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I skipped 1 week, right? And then, because I hadn't heard from you, so I skipped 1 week, and then for the following week I hit up Angel just in cases.
Right.
And
I listened to most of it. I haven't finished that. I listened to most of it.
We were doing it, and then like planning on it. We were talking about it or whatever, and that's when you were like, "Yo, I'm so swamped." And I even said it in the podcast, like, "Yo, you can't join us because new position, coronavirus."
Yeah, it was. Yeah, man. And funny though, right? Because when I was like, oh, well, let's, I was like, we can go do a Monday because it's whatever. And when I got in on Monday, man, I did not realize the tsunami that I was stepping into. I was like, oh, I'll be out, I'll be home by 8, right? So we can do it.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
Yeah, easy peasy. And then it was like, yeah, I'm not leaving yet. It's 8 o'clock. I'm still here. I still another hour if I can leave. Yeah, man. But no, man, it is,
like
it is.
More money, more problems.
It is what it is.
With great promotion comes great responsibility.
I know it's been crazy, but yeah, man. And the thing is I haven't really even started, right? A lot of my other dudes.
No, because everything is focused on just this thing.
Everything is focused on this. And honestly, I got a feeling work's gonna get bad again this week because everybody's been quarantining for 14 days, and there's a lot of people that 14 days ends this week. So who knows what crazy stuff is gonna happen there. But nah, man, all I know is that thankful for the fact that I got a job right now, right? With a lot of people being laid off, or I was talking to my boy Dennis. He was talking about how he knows some kids who their hours got cut.
Dude, Magda's job between the last 2 weeks with all this going, they laid off like close to 100 people.
Yeah, it's like it's
right?
been...
and they shortened her work week. And the owners of the company are, until all this is done, so as not to continue with the layoffs, they are not taking a paycheck.
Oh, nice.
Right? So yeah, it's a crazy thing. And a lot of the as a manager and booking manager, a lot of the concerts, events and stuff like that.
Oh, that's canceled.
That I'm getting, or that I confirmed or whatever for the artists I work with. Done. Postponed.
Done. It's a wrap. You know what though? Well, have the artists that you deal with, have they thought about doing like an Instagram concert, or a Facebook concert or whatever? Because a lot of artists have been doing that. It seems like I don't know if the DJ D-Nice, he did something like a 48-hour or 24-hour
Michael has done an Instagram thing. I can I can tell you off this other things because gotta keep things
Right,
gotta keep things hush.
right. Our business is the only business we put out on the street. Wait, what? But yeah, man. So I just thought, like I said, the only reason I say that is because I actually just saw a little while ago when I was on Facebook, some artist was was doing a little acoustic thing, right? So I thought, you know,
Well, I put out there, right, because even Junior had another 3-month gig on the cruise line, right?
Right.
And even like local gigs. And I mean, Nashville had the tornadoes,
right,
right? And then this.
yep,
And Nashville went on lockdown like 2 weeks
right,
ago.
yeah, a lot
So,
yeah,
right, I'm telling people, I mean, what you need to do is like get yourself a Patreon account if you don't have one already, right? And for your Patreon people, I mean, if they're gonna support you with shows or merch, right? Do it on
yeah,
Patreon. Do a Patreon concert where your supporters can come in and they can pay ticket prices, and you could give them like new music,
released,
never released or never heard,
right,
or some acoustic, whatever. Like, I mean, there are ideas, and if you have a fan base that is loyal enough,
right,
they'll help you out.
yeah. If you just gotta be creative, and you gotta put. That's the thing, right? You gotta be creative, and you gotta put a little work into it.
Right.
So, and that's I get like in a lot of things in life, right? Like, people don't want to be creative, or they want to be creative. You got either people that are creative but don't want to put in the work, or you got people they'll put in the work. They're just not creative. So they're stuck, they're not working towards anything. That's gonna be good. Kind of like my rap career. My DJ career. Push play. Um, so what else has been going on, man? You've been on lockdown now for like the last 8 years, right? Called marriage.
9 years. 9 years in the married lockdown, 10 years in the what is it? The together lockdown. I don't know what the hell. And I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Don't just stop there. Don't say something you'll regret.
But no, this month we make 10 years together. 10 years together. Last month, 9 years married. But nah, I've been here trying not to go crazy.
Right.
Because Cobb is on lockdown, right? So we've had the kids here. And what we have had to do is split them up. So the baby girl is upstairs with Ma, and baby boy stays downstairs with me.
Okay.
We tried to switch it once, but he comes upstairs and he doesn't do any work because we're still homeschooling.
Right.
So he doesn't do any work. And then she's downstairs and she wants to play. Like, she's 2 years old, so she wants to play, but I'm working. So when I'm like, oh, baby, I can't, I'm working, then the screams, right? But when she's upstairs with mom, no screams, no nothing. She has all like this Play-Doh and whatever here. But downstairs, Bean works with me. Like, he'll sit next to me with his notebook and he'll do his writing, his reading, and all that. So like that switch lasted maybe a couple hours. Oh, go upstairs, go with your mother. and then I get a text message. I'm sending him down with you because he's not doing any work. It's like, send him down, right? And that's it. As soon as he sat down next to me, he's all right, let's do some work. And then he goes, can we work to music? I was like, yep, of course, always. Throw on Spotify, right? And he's writing and he's dancing. I'm like, yeah, this works best, because if not, I'm gonna go and lick a toilet outside. I'm gonna run outside and lick a toilet so I can be in extra quarantine so I can work. And then also try not to get depressed, right? Actually not get depressed, but try not to get the news. Try to let the news get to me, right? So,
Right. The news blues.
right, and our regular listeners know that I work for the news, and we're all, except for like the reporters, of course, because the reporters, and the print people who actually have to be at the printers and work the machines, like we're all working from home. Yo,
Right.
props to the company I work for, because from Tuesday to Wednesday, Tuesday they sent an email for everybody to work from home. Like it wasn't even like, oh, everybody, we're gonna work from home Monday. It's like you're gonna start working from home tomorrow, right?
Right.
So take everything you need. We're locking down tomorrow. Yo, it went super smoothly. It was like one day we're in the office, the next day like more than 5,000 of us are working from our homes.
Nice.
No hiccups. No hiccups at all whatsoever. And we're gonna be on. Well, Cobb is on lockdown till April, but we're gonna be working from home till May. Like they call it. You're gonna stay home till May. And they've been doing things. Like they've been doing there's like a hotline you can call for like counseling if you need it, for people that suffer with clinical anxiety.
Okay.
They opened up the gym only for the trainers. Right? They opened up the gym only for the trainers. I'll tell you. So that those of us that are working from home, they can log in between like a 3-hour period. And in those 3 hours, the first hour they have and just stream like exercises. Right? So they have a trainer that goes into the gym and with a camera and does an hour of like HIIT training. Another one comes in and does an hour of yoga and whatever, and you're working from home, so something for you to do to get away from all like this. So you log in between 2 and 3, and you can exercise, you can work out from home, you can do yoga from home, whatever. Right. So they've been doing things to make it, I guess, tolerable. Right?
Yeah. I mean, Depot's been doing the same thing. Now, I don't know what I'm seeing though. It looks like if after this, I had a feeling more and more companies might just be like, you know what? There's no need for half of you guys to even be here. Like you were able to do your job from home just fine.
Yeah.
Like once a month, we'll just do like every other week, just have people come in for like a check-in, whatever, and then, we don't need to see you guys anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
yeah, we're the only thing is, again, right? I work for the news, so I keep looking at my watch because I keep getting job updates.
Right.
I keep getting job updates, right, on my phone, my watch, and I gotta see because, right. I get the updates. Well, you know this, and our listeners know this. I'll get updates before they come out. So, and then sometimes I get updates where, hey, you gotta get on the laptop and you need to redesign the whole page because this happened, right? Like, I thought I was gonna have to work today because of Trump making like the declaration for Georgia.
Oh yeah, they declared it a disaster.
A disaster area, yeah. So I thought I had to work. So I was waiting for the alert, right? But the alert came, hey, Trump declares Georgia disaster. And I'm like, okay, where's the email? Where's the email? Oh, no, nothing? Okay, yay.
Yeah, and he extended the thing to April 30th.
The travel ban.
Travel, whatever it is, yeah. Yo, speaking of travel bans, 2 funny things. So I sent you that article about how long Rhode Island was stopping people from New York, and they were coming into Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And telling them you gotta self-quarantine. Well, today I saw where Cuomo was like, I think Cuomo was talking about he might go after Rhode Island because he's like, that's not fair or whatever. And then, so I just read today where Alabama is doing the same thing for there's people stopping. Yeah, anybody coming across, from Georgia, they're stopping them. They're like, we don't want your kind here.
We don't want your kind over here.
What kind is that, sir? The ones
Sick.
with the coronavirus.
Yeah, so
You're like, oh, I thought you were going somewhere racist.
it's funny, right?
I
Because
understand.
every state should be able to do, well, the governor, right, should be able to do whatever. I don't want to hear anything about Cuomo because Cuomo's a jerk.
Jay loves him, as you can tell.
I can't stand Cuomo or De Blasio, right? But I mean, like we were talking about earlier, so everybody has seen the governor of New York, Cuomo, throwing shots at Trump and the government because New York needs more ventilators. They need more ventilators, but Trump's not releasing money so they can get ventilators. And then it turns out that Cuomo has a couple thousand of ventilators holed up in a warehouse.
Yeah.
That he's not using, that they're not using, that he's not dispersing or
So-
giving out all the hospitals in the city that desperately need them.
So how we doing on time?
I have no idea. Oh, we're good. We're good.
We're good. All right. So there's a couple of, so that's a great kind of that was a great kind of segue into just a couple of news stories. One that I thought was awesome. And then the other one is just going to launch us into, what we're going to kind of be
what we're talking about.
chopping up today. So excuse me. It was a wet cough. It wasn't a dry cough. Just to let you know. So we're gonna do it this way. Number one, all right, we'll do this one first. So I thought this was great. This story came out a day ago, Fox News, and it's been in other places. 101-year-old Italian man born during the Spanish flu pandemic survives coronavirus, officials say. So, with all this bad news, I thought this was a great, awesome coronavirus news.
Yeah.
Dude was born in 1919, and he was born in 1919, and that was when the world was dealing with the Spanish flu, right? And according to the article here, right?
Spanish flu.
Why I gotta be called the Spanish flu? Because didn't it start in Spain? I think. Anyway,
why can't it just be the flu with an accent? Why can't it just be the Enya flu?
The Enya flu. I have the Enya flu. The
Enya flu.
Enya flu. The Spanish flu killed an estimated 500 million people. And 675,000 of those, was here in the U.S., right? So a lot of people. So that was I think that was the last great pandemic. Man, that was cool, man. He got coronavirus. He went to the hospital, and then earlier in the week they released him. They released him. He went back home to be with his family, drink a little wine probably, and just
a little red wine.
He's like, he should have, somebody should give him a T-shirt, be like, I survived 2 pandemics. I was telling Jay, think about that. He was born during a pandemic and survived it as a baby, right? Because babies' immune systems, right, aren't as strong.
Are not as strong.
Survived it as a.
Which is why there was the baby that died over the weekend in Illinois.
All right, we're talking good news. Survived it as a baby. And then he survives the coronavirus 101 year later as an old man whose systems aren't as strong.
Props.
Give it up.
Props. Give him props.
So
at both
Christians,
bookends of his life where he supposedly does not have a strong immune system, right?
He survived.
He beat them both.
He's our Samsung of the week. Samsung of the week.
Oh my God. The next piece of news.
The next one will be, do you want to do the fake news? Yeah, let's do the fake news. So the second piece of news.
I closed all that.
All right, well, I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. It's just.
Well, there's a story going around about a priest in Italy.
Oh, no. You want to do that one? Yes, that was good.
Oh, which fake news were you talking about?
the doctor.
No, the doctor, right? The doctor one.
No, you're thinking of the other. Let's. You said priest, so there is that story out there of the priest
Right, of the priest that gives up his mask.
Ventilator to a young, I think it was a young man, and the thing was that his church had bought the ventilator for the priest, and he gave it up for someone else, and the priest ends up dying, and that, that's the Jesus award of the week.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Without a doubt.
I would have got the Judas award. I would have got the Judas award for that one, because I'd have been like, nah, it's all right, I'm good.
I would have got the Thomas award. Nah, you don't really believe you're gonna die, right? Hold on.
I had the Peter award.
Right. So
I don't know you.
Don Giuseppe Berardelli, a priest for 47 years, right? Gave up his ventilator. He was 72 years old. He gave up his ventilator for a younger patient.
Yeah. So.
And accordingly, he was always smiling, always happy, always, he was good with the people. Everybody loved him. But that's that commandment, right? No greater love has a man than this, than to give up his life for his friend. Yo.
Right. This wasn't even his friend. So so we, in the midst of, that's the thing, right? In the midst of like all kinds of bad news, it's always nice to kind of pull up some good news, right? Let's have some stuff that's gonna, give us a glimpse of what hope, right, can look like in the midst of all this craziness. Now, here's a dumb story, because as me and Jay say, verify. So apparently, Mandisa, who's one of many, put out this quote unquote story that this atheist now returning to God Italian doctor's testimony goes viral. It was supposedly this 38-year-old doctor in Italy who, because of him working through all this stuff, supposedly accepted Jesus or came back to God and all this stuff. And so it went viral. And like many things that go viral, this wasn't true. It never happened.
So apparently the story was that the doctor met a 75-year-old pastor who was a patient and spent his time in the hospital reading from the Bible to comfort the other patients, right? And it was spread everywhere.
And this clergyman gave up his ventilator for a younger patient.
But it turned out that it's fake news.
Yeah, never happened.
Fake news.
Just remember,
it never happened. The picture that's used is a picture showing, and it's funny because I remember when I first heard it, I didn't see the picture of the doctor. So when I saw the picture of the doctor now in the article I just sent you, I remember that picture from the site there that they're talking about, where it shows like what the doctors have to suffer on their faces because of all the stuff they have to wear.
Right.
So I remember that picture. But the pictures from another group of pictures showing like what the doctors, they have to put on so much gear and what it does to their faces. And it's not a true story, right? It's not a true story. And this is something else that teaches us, like Joaquin said in the beginning, verify.
Right, especially.
It's easier to research now than it was when we were younger.
Right,
So,
right, especially if it confirms your bias.
Ooh, damn.
If it confirms your bias, you're like, yeah, it's got to be true because I believe that. Double check it so you don't look stupid, just flat out. Because you will look stupid passing it off on Facebook, right? And Instagram, and all that stuff.
Snapchat and WhatsApp are not certified news sources.
No.
Okay?
If you can't Google the title of the thing they sent you on Snapchat or WhatsApp, if you Google that and news sources don't pop up, yeah, don't trust it. Or look at the news source. A lot of times, if you look, it'd be like satire.
Remember like that art that I think it was a text message or something on Instagram or whatever that Angel sent us, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And then it was also about New York, about Cuomo. Was it about Cuomo? Ugh.
I don't. I mean, there's so much stuff I don't remember.
There's so much stuff that we send each other.
Gets lost in the dustbin of text messages.
Yeah, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Research, source, check sources, verify stories. Like Joaquin said, especially if it confirms your bias before you start throwing things out there, and not only make yourself look stupid, but because it came from a Christian and you are an ambassador of the church of the kingdom, then you make me look stupid. You make Joaquin look stupid. So don't make us look stupid because you want to look stupid.
We don't need your help. We're perfectly capable of making ourselves look dumb without your help.
We don't need your help. We can make ourselves look stupid all by ourselves.
Right. Thank you very much. So that we're just gonna go ahead and jump into kind of what Jay. There's a couple of articles that have come out. And let's see what was it in New.
So this one,
Orleans, yeah. Why don't you tell? Yeah, the first one that you sent me
from by my wife. My wife read this headline to me, and I'm like, that church sounds familiar. And apparently, there's a church in Tampa Bay called The River at Tampa Bay, right? Pastor Rodney Howard Brown. Yep, we doing it like that on the Overflow podcast.
I mean, it's in the news article. We didn't have to do extra work.
Right? So apparently the pastor and the church is a mega church, right? They're still holding services. Right? And it's not like, 5-6 people. Like I said, it's a mega church, and there are between 2,000 or more people that still are going to church on Sundays. They're still gathering. They're ignoring all social distancing rules, right? And they are falling back. The reason why they're doing it is they are saying that these rules of social distancing and what is it, Joaquin, I asked before, of being locked in or whatever.
Shelter in place.
Shelter in place rules, that it's religious discrimination, right? That it goes against their religious freedoms, right? There's another church in Louisiana. Do you still have that one?
Yeah, they're called oh man, I lost the name of the church.
The name of the church.
Life Tabernacle Church.
Life Tabernacle Church.
Led by
Pentecostal
preacher Tony Spell.
Baton Rouge. And this one, I went to the actual church's website. And they have like this whole COVID-19 it's COVID-19 restrictions and freedom of religion. Like, it's bam right there on their homepage. And they are also part of, they call themselves Revival Ministries International, and that's why, Joaquin, I told you, they're also like they're also like charismatic, right? And dude, I mean, and my mom, I went to visit my mom, make sure she's okay, to be a good son. And also we did some shopping for her because she's 73 and I don't need her going outside. Right. I don't need her going outside. So we do the shopping for her. So you went shopping for her, and when I went to drop off some stuff, I knew about. No, I was actually. So the church I grew up in, I was no, none of them listen to this. So I was making fun of them,
Right.
because they're trying to do the Facebook Live thing, but you can tell that it's like a phone propped up against like a flower pot or something on the table,
Right.
and they're just like preaching or doing a Bible study, and it's like this. Hey, is anybody there? Like the stuff that bothers me. All right. Oh, we have 2 people. All right, we're gonna wait till there's like 10. Oh, we have 10. All right, we're gonna wait for 15 people, and then we're gonna start. So I was, I asked my mom if she had seen them because I was making fun of them, and then I was telling her how I made the mistake of going into the comments, and in the comments we saw 2 people, and my mom saw them too, and she also was upset about this, that were saying, we should open back up and go back to the church because this is the time when the church is supposed to gather together so we can lay hands on people and pray for them. And I'm like, don't be stupid. Don't be irresponsible. And then JD told me, what? She wrote that? She works with the elderly. Like, what is wrong with her? Right? Now, and that is where charismatic beliefs go wrong, right? That's what charismatic beliefs go wrong, right. Especially like according to me. Like I grew up in that, and I do not think that when the Bible tells you to lay hands on people and to pray for the sick, that it means defying the law or the rule of the land or defying the authorities of the land, right?
Or common sense,
right? Or denying all wisdom, so that through arrogance and rebellion, right, you could then put the blame on God, right?
Or the person.
It's almost like that joke, that old joke about the guy that was on the roof of his house waiting for God to save him from the flood that was rising, right? And the police boat came and said, "No, God's gonna save me." And then the Coast Guard came with the chopper. "No, God's gonna save me." Then he drowned. And then when he went to heaven, "God, why didn't you save me?" It's like, I sent a police boat and a chopper. What do you want? Right? So like it's
so true.
Right? It's like there has to be wisdom in all things. And I remember a pastor called me. I don't know why. Like pastors were calling me when all this like, oh, you can't gather 10 or more people, right? If it's 10 or more, you can't gather, right? And they were starting to close down. Well, not even close down, like stop services and do online church that first week. Like pastors were calling me. It was like, I didn't know I was like the pastor whisperer. Pastors were calling me, asking me for my opinion, like asking me what I thought and asking me for advice. And I think this is the reason why. I think they called me to ask me because I'll give them that non-Bible answer. I'll give them that non-religious answer. I'll give them that, if you're my mom's pastor and my mom is 73 years old and she just got over bronchitis, and you made her feel that if she didn't come to church, then she was giving over to fear instead of faith, and she contracted that thing and she like got COVID and God forbid she died, I would not only sue you and your church and whatever ministry supports you, but I will also go into the church and I will punch your throat out. Like I will knock you out in front of everybody.
And then you will lose the suit because you just got don't punch people.
But I'm like I put those things right, and I'm like, and this is coming from a person who believes in God. Now, if somebody's parent or grandparent goes there for those reasons, but this person does not know God, right? Has no fear of God, no anything, then that is where you guys lose. Because not only do you lose your church, right? Because if they sue you guys are going to shut down. If they sue AG, forget about it, right? But then also you lose that kid, his family, probably that woman's family. You lose them for the kingdom because it's your fault that mom and grandma died. Right? Like you have to be wise. Like there's too much technology. Craig Rochelle has been doing this church online thing for like 17 years.
Right.
Right? Nobody does it better than Elevation, Stephen Furtick. Nobody does it better than him. And right now, Judah Smith with Church at Home, right? There's too much technology out there because we used to do it. I mean, the Church Online platform with Groeschel, that's what I was using when we were doing the conferences in New York.
Well, but that's the thing. I mean, forget that. Like my parents' church, last couple of weeks have streamed a service. So all they've had is the worship band,
Right.
And then the pastor like in the studio or whatever. So yeah, probably they probably got around 10 or 15 total people, 15, 20 total people just because production, right?
Yeah.
Camera guy, whatever.
Social distancing.
Yeah, but none of those people have to be close together, right? So, so then you just get online. They'll do Facebook Live at like 9:30, and then they'll stream then at their 11 o'clock service through the church site.
Mm-hmm.
Influencers has been using Zoom, as a way to do meetings. I remember when we had to cancel services the first Saturday. We had to cancel services. They did it. It was really just Alejandro on Facebook Live, and everybody just clicked into Facebook Live, and they just kind of gave a message, and they did with the phone and everything. And you know what? But that's the thing. It doesn't matter.
And you guys have been using Zoom, right? Because I get the invites.
Well, the Spanish people have been using Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Because the American church have been using. Yeah. So there's ways to meet without potentially what was I'm looking for? Without potentially having someone get sick. Right. Because they're putting people in, just getting sick, right? Because, if you're older, right, you're more in danger of dying, right? Just flat out. Younger, yeah, better chance of surviving it.
Not anymore.
Yeah, the number's still.
That's not a thing anymore because
it still is. Because remember though, a lot of people that died, they never tell us that they have any. It's the underlying medical.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's not because there have been like the thing with COVID is that it's still mutating, right? So it's still changing. Right. So before, like the young people, whatever, less chances, but now you've got like 20-year-olds in the hospital. There's this.
Well, right.
I think he's 25 years old, and he's in what is it? An induced coma.
Right.
They had an induced coma so they can keep him living to see what's going on. But he was super young, super healthy. He was an athlete.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not
29-year-old. There was a 29-year-old lady the other day who died before her test results came.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not saying that's not a thing. I mean, it's you're still the majority of those that are getting sick, the majority of those that can potentially die, you're still at that higher range of age. I'm not saying that people that are young aren't getting sick. If that's what I said, then I would be like, go around licking doorknobs and toilet seats, like the TikTok toilet seat challenge. Was it Corona?
The Corona challenge, and the idiot that got that actually.
That's not what I'm saying.
In a toilet seat.
I'll say that you can still, if you want to, the statistics are still on your side, but that doesn't mean you risk it, right? That's like you wear a seatbelt, right? Because I might get home, I might drive 100 times home, back and forth, and I'll be fine. But that 101 time might be the time I get in a car accident and I fly out my seat and I die.
But it's like, oh no, well, not holding,
but you still have
holding services means that you don't have enough faith, right? So what do you say to the person that has cancer that is getting chemo? Oh, well, getting chemo means you don't have faith. Like, oh, you don't trust in the Lord because your faith is not as strong as it should be because instead of praying and giving that cancer to God, you're getting chemo and it's arrogant. It's arrogant and it's a dangerous arrogance, right?
Right.
Because, and what is it? What do I say? What's the original sin? Pride. Pride is the original sin. And arrogance is birthed out of pride. Right? But, these are pastors, right? So number one, you should know the Bible even more than the people that you're teaching it to, right? Number two, you need to remember that the Bible says that teachers and pastors will be held accountable to a higher standard than other believers, right? So, Romans 13, 1 and 2, because there was something that I said and I was told, Old Testament. So let's go New Testament for you people who don't believe in the Old Testament. Right? Romans 13, 1 and 2 said, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted. And those who do so will bring judgment on themselves, right? And then I did this one because Joaquin said, hey, let's use them both. Oh, wait. Where'd it go?
You lost it?
I lost it. It.
Let's see.
Right? Titus 3:1 says, and this is, right, these are rules that Paul gave Titus, a young pastor, for him to basically like basic instructions.
Right, guidelines.
Right, guidelines on how to be a good pastor, right? Or a good, So he says, remind the people, right? This is Paul telling Titus, remind the people to be subject to rulers and authorities, to be obedient, right? To be ready to do whatever is good. And when I read things like, hey, River Church in Tampa, Florida, packs in worshipers, Pastor Rodney Howard Brown flouts social distancing, right? The only time, this is what he says, the only time the church will close is when the rapture is taking place. Son.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like that quote, I was like, that's like, take the COVID thing. I was like, yeah, that's a pretty baller quote for him. But then put the COVID back in place, like, yeah, you're gonna feel like the rapture happened when half your congregation is dead,
right?
because you gave him the vid.
You gave him the vid. Right? It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. And what's worse is that, ready? This is the problem that I have. And I honestly thought that it was just Spanish churches, but I guess it's just charismatic churches.
Yep. If you got charismatic in you.
Right? The problem is that most of these churches are run by a cult of personality.
A lot of them.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of them are run by a cult of are ruled or overruled by a cult of personality. So the pastor of the church is the authority on all things. Yep. Right? Nobody calls him out.
Nobody questions
Nobody like reads the Bible on his own. Like, hey, hold on a minute. Like scripture. Hey, look. Right? Whatever the pastor says, goes. And they're not, these are sheep that don't follow the good shepherd. They follow this guy. Right? Because there is no way, man, oh my God, man, if Joaquin and I were going to this church.
We wouldn't be going to that church.
You know what I'm saying? If we were going to this church and this dude said that, we'd be the three young people in Babylon. Talk about,
I mean, happy, son. It would be the three old people, middle-aged people.
I'm sorry, Pastor. You're crazy. Any of you who still come to this church after that, you're crazy, and I'm going to stay home.
Right.
And you're going to have to answer to God for this.
Right. Well, I thought we wouldn't have gone to church anyway. But no, it's insane. I mean, I see a clip of a video here, just you know, and it's just the place is packed. Packed. And that's the thing, right? It's funny how, you know, we've got to be the thing. The part of the problem is, you know, remember the old story of the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
Right. And then in the story, right, the kid kept calling wolf, and then when the wolf actually did show up, you know, the hunters and the townspeople just were like, oh, he's just trying to mess with us again. And so the kid ends up getting eaten by the wolf and the sheep and blah 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 blah. And I think that sometimes the church has a problem with crying wolf when it comes to persecution, especially here in this country, right? And so it's like, well, we're not going to do this because, right, we're not going to give into because it might be persecution, or we're not going to do it because, you know, God's with us and he would want us to stand up for him, and we have to shot, you know. And it's like and it's funny how the whole like shining for God is never looked at in these things as, you know what, we're gonna set the example by, you know, setting things up so that we can take care of the old people in our church and not make sure they don't get sick. It's no, we're gonna, you know, people feel like standing up for God is somehow a battle, right? A war,
Right, an act of rebellion.
Right, they're guerrilla warfare fighting, right? And it's like, no, God didn't ask you to do that, right? You know, He asked you to love your neighbors. I mean, even in the scripture, even in Titus, right? It's talking about, you know, goodness and loving kindness, and, you know, he says, but you know, verse 2, speak evil of no one, avoid quarreling, be gentle, show perfect courtesy toward all people. Like, showing courtesy toward people is telling your congregation stay home, and then going, grandma, grandpa, you know, auntie, uncle, like, how can we make sure you're taken care of? Like, do we need to set something up where we send the young people to go buy groceries for you? Because the young people odds of the young people surviving are greater than odds of you surviving. So we'll send the young people, you know, Instacart, but the church,
the young
right?
people are already being rebellious and not listening.
They're already going out and stuff anyway. So, I mean, so that's the thing, is that it's just funny how there are times when we have to stand up, right? There are times when we have to stand up. But I think that this is one of those times where we have to be smart and go, you know what? You know, what ground are we giving up, right, for the kingdom, as it were? Because we're not going to meet for a while so that our members can be safe.
Right.
Right. So that our members.
And it's also an amazing opportunity to actually be the city on the hill, right? To actually be the help of the community that your church is supposed to be serving.
Right.
Do those food drives. Take care of the elderly that can't go out. Right.
You know, you having people cook and taking food to the hospital so the staff can have something hot?
Right. Like,
or,
you know,
I don't know, whatever.
Be the light.
Yeah.
Be the light.
That's
a light that shines in the darkness.
Right.
Don't be an idiot.
Right. You're not that shining city on the hill when you're defying and all people are looking at you at is like you're dummies. Right. You're dumb.
And then the worst part is that the response of the people is not, oh, those people are wrong. The response of the people is, oh, you see how Christians are? You see how all Christians are, how selfish they all are, how self-serving they all are? He's just doing this for the money, because all Christians care about is the money, right? Matthew 5:44 and 45 says, but I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven, right? 44. Right. 45 is, for he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and he sends rain on the just and unjust, right? What does this mean? This means that COVID is not for the non-believer only. It's not like some judgment or some punishment from God for those that don't believe. It means that COVID does not discriminate. And my mom told me, I was telling Joaquin earlier, I'm going to see about verifying it. But my mom told me that there was that she got word that there was a church in Brooklyn where a majority of the members all got the virus, and the pastor got so sick that he was placed in intensive care. And this was also a church that, oh no, well, God is the ruler of all, and he's going to do whatever he's going to do, and we're not going to listen to what they tell us about not congregating because we're the church. And and now like 90% of the church is sick with the virus, and the pastor is in intensive care, right? Don't be stupid, and don't put the lives of the flock that you are supposed to be taking care of at risk, right? At risk. Because, and like I said, pastors will be held accountable to a higher standard. And that's on you, man. That's on you. Don't misuse scripture to add like power to your pride. That's stupid. That's just stupid.
And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. We got to listen. And I'm not. I mean, I go out. I'm not saying I don't go out, but I go out to work, right? Then I go over to my girl's house. Then I come home. That's pretty much it. Like today, I stopped. I had to stop at Aldi's, picked up some eggs or whatever. I only go to those places when I have a thing I need, right? I have a mission, right? I need to come get XYZ, or I need to stop get XYZ.
We don't even do that. We do the Walmart pickup,
right?
Because Walmart right now, they're like, hey, confirm everything through the email, right, and pop your trunk open, right? So and they have gloves. So I went like today because we ran out of eggs and milk, right? And plus for mom, we had to do shopping for mom or whatever. So I pulled up, called, hey, Soto here, right? The guy stood like 3 feet away from the window. Did you check all of the substitutions and did you verify everything's good? It's all right. Can you pop the trunk? It's open, right?
Yeah. Use.
And he puts the stuff in the trunk himself, and that's it.
Well, no, use that if you can, if you know how. But if you can't, it's just being smart. It's just walking in the grocery store, walking by people, it's keeping the distance. I mean, it's not. That's the thing. It's not complicated, right? Then when you get home, wash your hands. That's all you got to do. Forget Purell. Warm water and some soap is the best thing you can use. Not Purell, not none of that stuff. You use that in a pinch. Warm water and some soap, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then guess what?
Purell is for when you get in the car, right? Real quick, because you might touch your face without even realizing it, right? When you get in the car, Purell. But still, even with the Purell, when you get home, like my daughter sings, wash your hands, wash them every day.
But that's it,
She'll sing, and when she's done with the song twice, then she's done.
Yeah, walk your neighborhood. If you need to go outside because you're going stir crazy, walk your neighborhood. Go to the park. But you know what? Just keep that distance. It is not complicated.
We can't go to the park because the park has been closed.
Oh, well.
But we do walk our neighborhood.
Right. Walk your neighborhood, right? It's just simple things like that. I was joking this week was payday. This week we got paid. And I was like, yeah, people going to be going, hey, girl, just let me know which drive-thru you want to go to, because all restaurants none of them have sit-down service. So, go drive-through, pick your food, and go eat. If you want to go eat it outside of your house, right? Eat it in your porch or your balcony or wherever. But, just
actually don't, because the pollen is ridiculous.
Oh, that's word.
In Georgia, anyway, word. The pollen is ridiculous.
But that's the thing.
My car's supposed to be blue. It's green right now.
Yeah, but just be smart. I was driving. I left my girl's house to come here so we could do the podcast, and this car goes by me full of high school kids. Just they're all packed in there, just probably going to their buddy's house or what. I don't know where they're going because nothing's open for them to go hang out at. But
your county's in on lockdown?
Not my county, not Hall County.
Hall County's on lockdown? 9 o'clock. We're on lockdown. 9 o'clock curfew.
Yeah, no, we don't have curfew. We're grown-ups here.
We have a 9 o'clock curfew at Cobb County.
Nah, we don't have curfews.
It'll get there soon because Gwinnett has it.
I don't think when it has the curfew. I don't
Oh,
think
I don't know about the curfew. I know they're on lockdown.
Yeah,
As
they
of
don't have.
Friday, they're on lockdown.
Yeah, but that's like businesses and stuff. They don't have a curfew yet. I don't care. I got a note from work saying I'm allowed to be out and about.
I have one too.
And by out and about, I mean basically I'm just driving to work. Listen, as long as the snack guy at work keeps coming, I'm good. But yeah, so just be smart. I mean, ultimately that's just the thing, right? Be smart. And if you're at a church, or if you run a church or lead a church, be smart. It's okay to obey the stuff that the government says, hey guys, this is for the public health, right? Now, if the government was coming after you specifically, then me and Jay would probably be on your side going, that's right, don't bow down, stand up.
That's right.
Right? But they're not coming for you. They're just trying to make sure that all of society is safe, and it's okay to go, you know what? We're gonna this is one of those things that it's okay to follow that directive, because like Jay said, people aren't looking at you going, wow, look at them standing up for their faith. Some believers are, but most people are looking at you going, wow, how reckless and irresponsible, and that's not a place that I would want to go to.
Exactly. And that is not a God that I want to serve.
So, so just, be smart. That's it. That's all I got. What you got? That it?
Don't be stupid. See? Bookends. Be smart. Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. So, yeah. So listen, guys, Jay with his little Purell bottle. Man, listen, I got back from Puerto Rico. I did my 14 days. I'm good. I just spit on my hands. Man, I keep it moving. That's it, guys. Yeah, just be smart. That's all we're saying.
God, how about this, right? And this, we will shut it down with this. Jesus said that he wouldn't leave us lonely, that he will provide for us a comforter, right? A counselor, right? So, like when Joaquin says stuff like seek wise counsel, we have the greatest counsel from the Holy Spirit himself, right? If it sounds questionable, or if you are asking, well, other churches are closing down because, out of safety for precautionary reasons, right? God, what do you think? Right? Lord, Holy Spirit, reveal to me your plan. Do you think it wise for me, right? Because no one else in the church is thinking about you, and the pastor's definitely not thinking about you, right? So do you think it wise for me to continue to go and congregate while all of this is going on and people are dying globally? It's not like a little thing in Washington anymore, right? Globally, people are dying, right? And see what God tells you, right? See what God tells you. And if God tells you stay home, I'm gonna, we shouldn't add to the Bible, but I'm gonna put something else. If God tells you to stay home from a church that is telling you forget what they're saying, we're the church and we're gonna congregate anyway, find a new church. Find a new church. Find a church that follows Scripture and that actually loves you for real.
All right, that's it. I got nothing else. That's it. So, all right, as always, thanks for joining us. See y'all next week. If we're not dead or in the hospital or dead in the hospital or dying in the hospital. See y'all next week. As always, I'm Joaquin.
And I'm still Jay.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. Remember to go to the overflowpodcast.com to subscribe to the podcast on all streaming platforms and catch up on all the links of the week. And don't forget to follow our playlist on Spotify.